Okay, we've got a good one today. Just when I think that there's a little bit of a light news cycle in the digital media world, I can always rely on Twitch to provide us with some kind of feature that gives us a ton to talk about. So, Twitch has basically introduced a pay to win system for streaming. This is currently experimental in beta, and we're going to be breaking down this entire thing today. I think there's a lot that people are missing about this. I tweeted about it, of course, here, and it got pretty much the predictable responses of introducing a pay to win system to Twitch, which is the easiest way to kind of explain the system. We're going to actually break down everything in this video. You'll know everything there is to know about it, including a lot of stuff that other people are missing. So that's it. Let's get to it. Oh, man. So what is this, first of all? Well, I pulled up a couple images. This one, let's see. We're going to use this one, I think, is a little bit higher res. So here it is. Boost this stream in T-minus 6 minutes and 43 seconds. So in marketing, they're always giving you like a little bit of a time urgency, sense of urgency thing, right? Help Kakashi get discovered. Boost recommends Kakashi's stream to new viewers to help grow their community. Learn more. Be the first to boost. 1,000 recommendations for 99 cents. 3,000 recommendations for $2.97. So essentially what this means is that you yourself, the streamer, and this is the thing I want you to pay real big attention to, you, the viewer. Oh God, is it time already? Jeez, we're only a minute into the video. We're only busting out the notepad. All right, so you, the viewer, or you, the streamer, can pay money to get recommended. Now, I don't think a lot of people know what recommendations are, and I'm going to tell you exactly what recommendations are. Recommendations are basically two things. We're going to go to twitch.tv/directory, and you're going to see the followed channels that I follow, and then you're going to see recommended channels down here. So that's option number one for recommended channels. Basically, this algorithm is super simple. Maybe I could do another video sometime and explain the whole thing, but it's really easy. You take the number of viewers that view a certain type of stream and the types of categories that they like, and then you take crossover viewership that view other streams and the categories that they like. So if I am the consummate hot tub streamer consumer, and I only view hot tub streamers, okay, I will most likely be recommended across to categories that are like that, as well as other streamers who are in the hot tub category, but also have crossover viewership. Because what you'll find is that Twitch is enough of a niche platform, pretty small, that people that watch Twitch have crossover viewership in other audiences. A lot of people that will watch League of Legends, for example, who watch someone like Double Lift, right, would also watch someone like Tyler One. And that makes sense, right? So it's not too hard for Twitch as a machine learning to recommend people that watch other streams based on that. So this is you don't want to confuse this with the machine learning that YouTube does, where YouTube will actually build a profile of you as an individual and find out what you like. And then when you go into your recommended, it's a highly sophisticated system that directs you towards content that you'll want to watch, and also relies on the aforementioned stuff that we just talked about. So it's a little bit of a different system, much less sophisticated. If you watch something like Diablo 2 Resurrected, it's going to recommend you more Diablo 2 streamers and maybe some Path of Exile streamers, because it's the ARPG, there's a crossover viewership there, okay? The second way to think about recommended is to go to recommended for you. So this is going to be by category, but I can also do by live channels. And I believe that Twitch defaults to this for new users now. I have it sorted high to low, but I believe that this is recommended for me because, and this is pretty accurate to what I've been watching recently. I've watched some Warcraft 3 because I watched Follow Grubby, and I've been watching New World because I'm playing it right now, and I've been playing D2R. So these are pretty obvious recommendations. Same type of thing where you see New World here. Can't be too sure why I'm on a Forza streamer or a Counter-Strike streamer, so I don't watch them. But I also kind of like click around all the time. So most of these are like pretty accurate. Like I don't follow Tyler One just because I don't typically watch that content, since my headphones cannot support that kind of volume. So it's recommending me that because I've watched quite a few League of Legends streams, right? So that's how recommendations work. It's the first thing you need to know. So armed with that knowledge, we can go forward and kind of think about how this feature works and what's happening here. So what Twitch is doing is basically saying, for the price of 99 cents, okay, we put you in front of 1,000 recommendations. So let's focus on that. I'm going to tell you what I think that is based on just a lot of marketing background, and I can tell you I'm almost 100% certain this is how it's going to work. Okay, so I think what that means is a recommendation can basically be thought of as an impression. So an impression is someone sees you. Okay. And an engagement is someone clicks through or activates in some way with you directly. So they click a follow button. An engagement means like the user reaches out and does something for you. Impression just means they see you. So an impression is very different from an engagement. And that's really important to understand this system. And for all of you listening to this who are going to be considering using this system or whatever, you need to understand this. Recommendations does not equal viewers. So just because you're recommended 1,000 times, that doesn't mean that you'll get 1,000 viewers. And Twitch is very intentional in their wording here and how they're doing this because they don't want people to know this. Okay, an impression is something that means that. So right now, Mathel here on the recommended channels is getting an impression, right? I'm physically viewing that channel here. So, but I'm not clicking on it. An engagement would be me clicking through to Mathel's stream, and then this would be a successful engagement for Mathel. And then a further engagement would be me following him or something like that. Okay. So this is not that. This is not viewbotting in the sense that like you're paying to get viewers. You may pay 99 cents to get 1,000 recommendations, which means it just appears on these recommended for you here, right? And you may not get a single engagement, which means a person clicking through and viewing your stream, okay? So very importantly, you can pay a lot of money to the recommendation system and you're trusting that system to drive viewers to you, but there's absolutely zero guarantee that's happening, okay? Now, this is a system that we see on pretty much every major social media platform. So on Facebook, Facebook's the most, I'd say, egregious example of this, where you can just pay to boost a page or a post. It actually works really well. And a lot of people sleep on Facebook advertising because Facebook's demographics are so specific. I can say, I want to reach out to dog owners who are 18 years old, who live in North Carolina, who are going to buy dog food, have bought dog food 3 times in the past. Like, you get really specific with Facebook targeting. And then when I sell my dog food, it's phenomenally effective. I love Facebook. I think Facebook is like one of the best ways to advertise any kind of retail or marketing vertical where you're selling a product directly to somebody. Facebook is phenomenal, especially for older groups of people, like older demographics, like 40 plus. Amazing, right? So you can pay for that, and that's fine. That's just part of the platform. Some people don't like it, whatever. I think it's fine. YouTube, you can pay the AdWords backend system to advertise pretty much anything, right? You can advertise on Google itself. You can promote stuff on Google search results. You can promote videos. You can promote your own videos. You can't really boost views directly legally. You can do this illegally on YouTube. You should never do it because it will screw with your you should never ever pay any illegal service on YouTube. It will just screw you over because the way that YouTube algorithm works, this is a long discussion, but like watch time, engagement, things like that go down as a result of like just a view hitting your video is not enough to like put your video in recommended. Don't ever do that. So that's that. There's that. Then on Twitter, you can pay to promote posts. So this is a fairly normal practice, but the big difference here, and I think this is kind of the crux of this video, and like the biggest problem I have with this is this is pain. This is a viewer pain for this broadcaster to get boosted. So what that means is, so guess what? Like, where do you think the money goes? 100% of the money of a boost goes to Twitch. So if this was like a 50-50 type thing where you could, I don't know, effectively donate to be recommended, and then some of that money would go to the streamer, I still think that would be bad, but I think that would be taken a little bit better. But man, like the way that this is set up right now is feast or famine, because every streamer, especially smaller streamers, right, has to decide between encouraging income, donations, right, subs, and getting boosted. And for everybody listening to this right now, let me save you some time, okay? And some money, maybe, all right? You never need to make this chasm doesn't exist. You never need to make this decision. It will, with Twitch's current machine learning, it will never be effective to boost a stream. so you don't ever have to make this decision as a small broadcaster. If they give you the ability to turn off the feature, just turn it off. It doesn't matter. Do not encourage your viewers to pay for this. It's ridiculous. I'm going to explain why later. It has to do with impressions and engagement and click-through rates. But trust me, you need not make this decision. It has already been made for you. The recommendation system is not sophisticated enough and is in nowhere near sophisticated enough to actually boost your viewership in a meaningful way and grow your stream. There are much better ways to do that for free, such as posting YouTubes, having email lists, Discords, things like that. A lot of stuff that we talk about on this channel. If you're interested in that stuff, go look at the How to Grow on Twitch type of videos, which I have posted numerous amounts of. Okay, so you do not need to make this decision. But it sucks that you have to, right? And it sucks because not everybody in the universe is going to watch a Devin Nash video for 30 minutes explaining exactly how this goes. But and unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people that I think are going to legitimately think that this is how to boost their channel, and they're going to forego their income. They're going to forego donations, right? Because if I have $100 to give to streamers this month, then now I'm between. Previously, I'd give that $100 in the form of a subscription. Maybe I'd gift some subs. Maybe I'd donate, right? But now there's another monetization option competing for that $100, which is I boost this person's stream, which by far is the worst use of that money, because that person could use that $100 via a donation and make 3 YouTube videos and be infinitely better. They could do anything with that money. They could pay a person on Thumbtack to shout on the street their Twitch channel and not stop doing it for like 2 hours, and that would be more effective than recommending. Okay, why is that, Devin? Because the whole problem with Twitch is discoverability sucks. Why? Because no one interested in nothing goes anywhere they're interested in. What do you mean? Okay, so if a streamer gets boosted via the recommendation system, let's take another look at that directory, okay? I'm going to go to categories, okay? I am getting recommended these categories right now, or I'm going to go to streamers, okay? So the type of person that I am is a person that likes ARPGs and MMOs, okay? And occasionally like Twitch stuff, that like meta stuff, so that's why like Hassan and like Destiny are shown up here, right? And if the recommendation system is not sophisticated enough to support me as a user, then it's going to recommend me stuff that I don't care about, like Minecraft, or as we get down here, League of Legends, or this thing. Okay, or this game I've never heard of, or this stream that I'm not interested in, right? And what's going to happen is that recommendation is going to be an impression that basically fails. Okay, so out of the 1,000 impressions and recommendations that we get, the majority of them will fail. Now, the problem here is that Twitch has been able to figure out my viewing habits because I'm an 8-year user and I have a very specific and narrow viewing habits, okay? But this recommendation system is also built for newer users, which are the majority of the platform, and worse than that, not logged in users, which have no recommendations. So not logged in users still get recommendations. So let's say I don't log in, I'm on the website, my only interest, okay, I'm all in on Amaranth streams, okay? Those hot tubs, woo, that's it. That's all I want to see, okay? Recommendations doesn't know that. It pops up the stream that somebody boosted with their own money, and then I don't care about that. Give me the hot tubs, right? So the problem there is that the recommendation system isn't sophisticated enough. Sophisticated? Yeah, right now. To drive people to the streams they're actually interested in. This is not the case on something like Facebook, for example, where I can pay $10 and I'll get exactly the demographic of people that are interested, because Facebook literally knows everything about you. They're listening to your phone. They're listening to everything. They're listening to this right now. They might be in this office. I don't even know. Okay? Like, they're everywhere. They know everything about me. So they can direct something directly to me that is a product or service that I will very likely use. And so that success rate is called a conversion. And the click-through is a CTR, which is click-through rate, okay? So the ratio of people that click through to a stream, which would then constitute a view, that's a success, that's a conversion in this model, right? A recommendation is, here you are. So me clicking through to Mathel here, I'm getting recommended, that's the impression, that's one recommendation. Me clicking through is a click-through. And if this is served 100 times, so 100 people see this, and I'm the only one that clicks through, that's a 1% conversion rate, right? Because it's one click, out of 100 impressions. Okay, that's the way to understand that. And so the success rate, the conversion in this case is also 1% because that also equals a viewer. Hopefully that's not too confusing. Okay, so basically 100 impressions, 100 people see it, one person clicks equals 1%, right? Conversion is a view, which also equals 1%. Okay, so 1,000 recommendations, I would be very surprised if the total conversion here is like above even 1% would be phenomenal. I mean, I would guess it's probably closer to like 0.1% or less, because the success of a click through and the success of a conversion is relevant to the type of audience that you are serving. So if I'm serving Diablo 2 resurrected streamers and I have no interest in Diablo 2, then all those impressions are basically worthless, right? And this is the problem with building a system like this on top of a platform that has not built their discovery out. They're like, all the platforms that did this correctly had already built their organic discovery. YouTube, right, has one of the most sophisticated organic discovery systems in the world. In fact, it is the most sophisticated. Maybe TikTok's a little bit better now. I might be sleeping on that a little bit, but they're very comparable. Facebook already had incredible organic discovery, knows exactly all the information. Like, Twitch is putting the cart before the horse here because they are basically saying, look, yeah, you can use our recommendation system. Well, this recommendation system came out, like, what was it? Like, as of the time of this filming, like 6 to 8 months ago? Like, compared to YouTube's is 8 years. Like, why would I spend revenue on this? And then more, right? It just doesn't make any sense. Second, then I'm going to get, like, so this is just like how the system works, okay? So the bigger picture of this is, like, on social media platforms, it's not a big deal to pay for boosted stuff. Like, that's kind of pay to win is like a pretty basic thing. But the problem with it on Twitch is that it's the viewers that are taking the hit. And this is where we start getting into like the really like ethical stuff that I'm like, like one of my big things here that I'm just like, what is this company thinking? So, and I posted this in my tweet, right? Where I said, here, I'll just like pull it up real quick. Cause this like worries the hell out of me, where it's like, okay, sure, the viewers paying for streamer exposure thing feels bad, right? And the results are uncertain, which I just explained here. But most disturbing is what suggests about the company's thinking. Because this is not a culture move, right? This is just like every money-making option is on the table. This is so weird. It's like, okay, we're going to make it so that think about the conversation that executives are having to make this exist and for this to get greenlit to this level. So it's not a total feature of the website. Everybody can do this yet. But you'd have to think about the conversation executives are having in the back room that featured, that got this to this point, that made this a blog post, that made this because I doubt this will go live after the community response here. The community's response should have been obvious. It feels like to me that they're so focused on monetization and this in particular, it's like, we will just monetize our viewers against our culture. Like, we're going to run this directly against broadcasters who are competing already for donations and subs. And the people that I feel the worst about for this are the smaller broadcasters. Because the smaller broadcasters are already competing for subs and donations, and they're already dealing with most of them are affiliates, so they don't have preferred splits. So they're giving 50% of their income for subscriptions, which is their main monthly source of recurring revenue, already back to Twitch. They're now having to compete with that on top of recommendations, and most people will not be educated enough to talk through this like we have, and will not understand that the system doesn't help them. So they're going to be spending. They might I envision a world where there's a 100 to 500 viewer streamer who is like, guys, like we really need some viewers. Like, don't donate today. Like, boost up our recommendations so we can get up on the page. Not understanding that like that doesn't guarantee you the viewers. Even if it's the viewers you get, it might not be the viewers you want, because it might not be viewers that are actually relevant to your demographic of whatever you're doing. If you're playing Toontown, okay, and you're a Toontown only streamer, and you just get recommended 500 people that only want to watch Fortnite, you're screwed. Like, you know? So like the whole thing just sort of like begets like a really weird mindset. And I guess that's like my main problem with it. It's like, it feels bad. It feels bad, not just because the system like is sort of questionable in its efficacy, which, you know, I think is like one of the takeaways of this, but also just the mindset that it takes to like do this. Like, why? Our biggest problem on Twitch has always been discoverability, and discoverability is a hard problem on Twitch. Currently, it's being solved by a kingmaker system, which is like these top people, they rise to the top, and most people discover them. If I go into like a New World category, the people that are going to get a lot of the views are going to be people that are the top streamers. And we've run tons of data on this and know that like these top 7 channels here are going to be the ones that mostly get the inflow of traffic and are getting the new people in. But you start scrolling down here to all these unfortunate souls. You see, we're getting into low viewership very quickly. Like I just scrolled a couple of times. None of these people are getting discovered in any sort of way. And so Twitch's solution to this has been the discovery system, which is admirable. I mean, like that's good that's happening. And the idea is that it can recommend people streams that go beyond just their view count. Maybe there's a particular aspect of this person's New World playthrough, like this person's doing missions, but maybe you're interested only in like the PvP aspect of New World, for example. And so eventually Twitch's machine learning gets sophisticated enough to do that. Now, I want to state that is years out. There's just like, we're so far away from that kind of intelligent learning. And to some extent, even YouTube doesn't have that kind of sophistication where they can tell like the minute differences between like, let's say I only want to watch a certain CSGO map or something like that. Like Twitch can sort that stuff out in the CSGO category by drop downs, but they can't like they can't have a computer like figure that out in its head and then be in its CPU and be like, okay, this is where I should direct people. So for that reason, like these people are both basically lost souls. Anyone below the top 7 are basically lost souls. So people are going to be boosting, and it's going to cost you an unreal amount of money. I mean, thousands of dollars probably to get you in the top over here, in which case your money would be better spent just paying for an embed, right, on some website that gets, 1 million hits a day or something or whatever, and then just pumps you up like F Extra Life does. That's how they're here, right? And I'll have a video coming out about that later. So, yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking about. I just want to remind everybody that this feature is most likely not going to help them, and I hope that for the few broadcasters that watch me, or the viewers that do so, inform your broadcasters if this becomes live that this is not a thing that they should support or pay for. And at the very least, if on the off chance that this does get greenlit, Twitch better put an option in to make it optional, because the vast majority of broadcasters should turn this feature off, right? But I guess overall, on my currently, what are we at, 5 months, 6 months exodus of Twitch, my current boycott of Twitch, which started with the gambling streams and everything, and I haven't streamed on there since. I guess I'm still disappointed. Like, on one hand, like, I think that Twitch is doing some things right. And if anything, like, I've probably been a little bit harsher on Twitch than I should be, especially recently. Like, I kind of understand their stance on sexualized content now. And there's been a couple of people at Twitch that have helped me through that have talked me through that. Like, there's some things on the website that, with the previous terms of service, someone like Dave Chappelle or like a comedian would not be able to appear there. You see stuff on Netflix that's way worse than what Amaranth's doing, right? Or something like that. And also, I can't, for the sexualized content stuff, I can't help but feel that any kind of hit to creators that are creating sexualized content is a hit to female creators, which I hate because it's already so hard for them to be on the platform. So I'm kind of like reversing on that. I still have a problem with what I would call luck-based gambling, which is your any of your like slots or things like that. I can't see a value to it being on the website. Objectively, it hurts advertisers, it hurts streamers, it hurts the whole website as a whole. I just don't get it. I don't get it why it's here. And this is another one of those where I just like I don't see the benefit except to put money in Twitch's pocket. This is just like one of those things where it's like boosting streams just objectively feels bad. It feels it's like it's one thing if we're gonna put it on the broadcasters to do themselves, but God, it's quite another to make your viewers pay for it and compete against that income that would be yours when Twitch is already taking the highest percentage off out of any social platform. Like, go see my video, Twitch is a Pimp, which talks about OnlyFans and other platforms like that taking 20% versus Twitch taking 50% of the vast majority of like affiliate income. And I guess like where I'll leave this video is long enough. And if you're 24 minutes in, hey, thank you, right? Really appreciate you being here, and leave a comment if you've gotten all the way here, because this is especially important if you've gotten all the way here, because then you understand how the system works and you need to tell people about it, because there's going to be a lot of people that think that the recommendation system is their ticket to getting big. It's not, right? Like, make no mistake that the only thing that's going to make you big on any content creation platform, or really anything in life, is your own hard work and like what you deliver. Okay, like your own like work on your content, your quality as a person, and your ability to get discovered on real platforms that have discoverability systems like YouTube. so make no mistake. But yeah, you guys need to talk to people about this. You need, like, I don't care if you link them this video or whatnot, but like you should tell people that this doesn't work. and why it doesn't, and how the recommendation system works. And there will be a few years from now, the recommendation system will be more and more sophisticated. But in my mind, I have never been a fan of black hat marketing as far as it comes for things like Instagram, things like Facebook, things like I think that it's shady. The views are low quality. They don't convert or engage, and it's literally just padding for a person to feel better because they have more followers or whatever. I'm not a fan of buying follows or anything on any platform. I don't think it's effective, and I think that it screws with legitimate organic outreach, which comes from good content. So I think this is more of the same. That is, if it even works and drives you the viewers. Those viewers are probably likely to be low quality, likely to be not less interested in what you have to offer, which is going to drop your average minutes watched per unique viewer, which is going to affect sponsorships and all kinds of other things. I just cannot recommend against this system enough. So that's it. That's what I would say. I hope that you all reach out and share this and just talk to people about the system. I wish Twitch would be focusing more on the culture of the website, the organic discoverability that hurts a lot of broadcasters, but just most importantly, like the communication about like their thinking, because like all we have to interpret is their thinking from things like this. And like this is I'm an executive myself, running a relatively big agency. Like if I was thinking like this, I'd be thinking money. I'd have dollar signs. I'd be like, okay, this is how exactly can I monetize my viewers, and how can I monetize my creators? Because creators will be paying back into the Twitch ecosystem to boost their own streams, but then they are encouraging their viewers to do so as well. So it just feels bad, feels really wrong. And I'm making this video and talking about this so long because I don't think this system will get implemented. I think it'll be a PR shit show, which it is already. But what I do think is that this shows the thinking that Twitch has, and it worries me for the future. Like so many other things about this website, worries me for the future. The thinking like this, everything is money, everything is like no culture, no communication type of stuff, no updates on that. Like the big things that people are concerned about on the platform just are not being addressed by communication. This worries me a lot. Okay, so that's it. There's two things I'm going to leave you with. Number one, discord.gg/Devin is a place where we talk about a lot of very sophisticated things like this, and in the digital media space. We do cover Twitch, but we cover all kinds of other things as well. Go there if you want to check us out. Discord.gg/Devin, super, super good platform. And it's a Discord like unlike any other. There's a lot of good conversation there. Very good for people interested in business as well. Second thing, real quick, patreon.com/Devin Nash. I do have a Patreon now. I post exclusive content there almost every day. It's more deeper business stuff. So like how to entrepreneurship stuff I can't post here because it's just not popular enough or popular enough topics. Patreon.com/Devin Nash. Go take a look. And if you want to support me, even $5 would be amazing. Don't have to. I'll always be here doing this stuff for free. Don't worry. I run an agency. I don't need it. It's just nice to have so I can pay other people in the lab and to do like stuff like editing and things like that. So thank you very much I hope this has been helpful. If it has, leave a comment below. I'll read it, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.